Everywhere I go, I hear people say that art is a way to express yourself. This might be true, but the more I hear people say this, the more they define what you're expressing as your feelings. I make music because it expresses my soul. I paint because it's how I see the world and shows how I feel about it. I express my emotions through dance. That's all well and good, but I've also found that some people find it hard to connect with this because they don't feel that expressing their feelings is expressing themselves. One of those people is me. The way I'm biologically programmed, my emotions are constantly on the back burner. They're always secondary to how I'm cognitively processing the world around me and how I make decisions about it. Call me robotic, but despite, yes, being female, I usually have to choose to allow my emotions to affect my decision making, like turning on a light switch. And more often than not, that switch gets stuck kinda off. It's just the way I'm wired. I even tried changing it for years, but trying to force the switch on is like trying to tell a clinically depressed person to stop feeling sad. Duh, they would if they could. I used to think this meant I led a less meaningful or more boring existence than people who cry watching Oprah or feel like they're on cloud nine after winning Monopoly, but lately I found that this isn't so. My meaningful and exciting just looks different than a lot of people's. I make music for different reasons than most people. I do it because I like learning. The more I learn about this art, the more I learn about myself and other people. The more I learn about music and teaching, the better I get at telling. Telling is one of the most important things we as humans do. We do it all the time. It happens when we ask someone how they're doing and actually intend to find out. It happens when we start an inside joke. It happens when we disagree with someone about the importance of napkin folding. It happens when we get excited about our favorite movies. It happens when we hurt someone we care about very much. Telling is the way we consciously and unconsciously show what we've decided about anything we've ever perceived. How much we make those decisions based on cognition or emotion makes up the different kind of people we are, but it doesn't make anyone better or less interesting. Finding out how other people see the world helps us view things differently, but it also helps us see the beauty in others. One way I do this is by writing. Writing not only helps us understand what we understand, but it tells this to everyone else. The way we do this is through storytelling. Storytelling removes you from yourself just enough to see what's inside your own head and heart. It creates a metaphor for the writer to explain the way they see the world by creating an imaginary one with their own boundaries, like a cell phone conversation, a reimagined memory, or Middle Earth. Although the best stories are entertaining and their plot and characters are engaging, the thing that really draws us to a story is if we like what they have to tell. Tolkien tells us of the power of friendship and of one spirit to overcome. Lucas tells us about the power of fear and hatred, but also of loyalty and self-sacrificing. Austen tells us of the complexity of human perception and the consequences that it bears on our reality. Orwell tells us of the depths to which fear can pervade our minds and either hold us captive to apathy or drive us to overthrow it. John Green tells us to seek a greater truth than our own assumptions, and that seeking works best alongside others. That's not all these stories tell us, but the best ones teach us to see ourselves and others differently. As humans, we must do the same for others. I write because the things that I want to tell others are the same things that I want to tell myself. It's true I'd be happier if everyone gave fiction writing a shot, but the chances of that are less than that of a dog learning to speak Norwegian. What everyone can do is tell a story. You are constantly telling. Everyone is trying to tell their story because people who believe that their story is not worth telling to anyone often end their lives. This is one of the most tragic wastes humanity is capable of.
What a senseless waste of human life.
That's why it's so important not only to write your own story, but to listen to the stories of others. Some people hesitate to write a story because they don't think it will be any good or that most people are better than them at it. That's like saying you'll never speak another word because the president is better at public speaking than you. Someone else writes his speeches anyway. So why write, you say? So if everyone is constantly telling through every action anyway, why sit down and grapple with pen and paper, risking failure, frustration, and carpal tunnel to get it out? Because the problem with telling is we don't always do it right. In fact, we'll never completely get it right. That's why there are arguments and gang fights and deceptive politics and world wars. That's why there are broken marriages and homeless bums and bullied back corner lunch table kids. Because our deepest intentions, opinions, and desires are never fully expressed exactly the way we experience them. Because the instant we share them, they are reinterpreted by someone. Perception is both our most terrifying enemy and our greatest ally. We have to tell in a way we know our audience will perceive us most accurately. Telling itself is an art. The best we can do is learn to get better at it. That's why I love learning so much, because the more I learn, the better I get at expressing myself. Because V for Vendetta was right. Artists use lies to tell the truth. It's because our very perception is a lie. So we have to solicit that lie with more lies in order to convey any meaning. And that is the beauty and true craft of any art. So what I'm really saying is write something. Write anything. Write out something you might want to say to someone later. Journal some thoughts. Write a letter to a friend. Write a short story. Write a novel. Just jot down an idea you like. Write a poem. Recount a memory. Explain something difficult to yourself on paper. Just get yourself writing. It doesn't have to be a big time commitment, and it probably won't be literary gold the first time. Start by taking a good look at yourself. Remember to listen to what others have to tell. Take time to appreciate what you say and do and think and love and why. Then, tell us. Tell someone. Tell anyone. Tell everyone. Tell yourself. You owe it to yourself. So, what's your story?